I'm hearing crush, crush. I'm having somebody, I am in a car accident. Who is in a car accident? Who did you lose through impound? I slid, I hit the tree. I think it's a tree or a pole or something. Who is that?
My daughter.
Okay. She's wiping your tears, okay? And she's asking you, please, don't cry anymore. I am happy. I'm not hurting. I was not hurting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're lined up on the other side, just waiting to see who they know.
I want to tell them I'm sorry that I wasn't there to protect them.
Why did she leave me with all these questions?
She wants you to know she is at peace.
There's no pain, there's no suffering. He's right behind you, and he's with you all the time.
As we open the door to communication, the great I Am presence of the universe.
Those who come through, spirit guides, loved ones, or angels, we ask that they would bring guidance.
We ask for evidence of the continuity of life after death. In the name of truth, amen.
I just want to know. I want to know. I want to know.
I can tell you, because he's telling me.
Okay, it's showtime. Okay. Good afternoon. This is our very first service starting our 130th season. 130 years. Please, if you need to leave, do not come in front of the medium, because the way we work, it's like with a telephone. So if you walk right across, you just cut the connection, okay? Please stand and join me in a very short little prayer. Great Spirit, loving heart, thank you for this beautiful place. We ask that the messages be of love, be of healing, be of hope.
Since Lilydale was established in 1879, it has become the largest center for the religion of spiritualism in the world. We get about 25,000 people a year, and the high point is July and August. Lilydale is to spiritualism as Rome is to Catholicism.
People have come here since the 1800s, and I think the main reason is to communicate with loved ones who've passed over.
They're going to speak to me very quickly. Pictures, symbols, colors, impressions.
They're not dead. There is no death and there are no dead. That's an illusion.
I feel like she's saying, who would have thought that I would be talking to you in the woods from the other side?
We are the only religion that proves the continuity of life. That's why we do what we do. This is not a hocus pocus or telling fortune. It's a different form of healing.
There's a young man who just touched in and he was killed very, very quickly in an accident.
I'm getting like chills, and they're saying, I want her to know I did not suffer.
Spirit knows that the people that come here are looking for that communication.
That has been Richard, who's been banging and knocking things around in the house.
He also wants to let you know that he now has hair all over his head.
You get the vibrations, you get the healing, you're spiritually challenged to the next level.
This is giving one of you chills in the back, kind of freaking you out because you don't know if you really believe in this or not. Don't try to understand it, just accept her.
People are seeking, and we are providing. And I've seen a lot of closures, a lot of healing. I'm Gerta Lestak. I'm a registered medium in Lilydale. Could you please tell me if there is a spirit present here? I want you to wiggle your nose. Thank you. My father used to do readings, and he was a medium, but back in Poland. Hello, welcome. New people, I've never seen them before. For 33 years, I didn't do no mediation. And it wasn't until I came to Lilydale that I even learned about a religion of spiritualism. I am hearing the month of May, and I'm seeing a number 5. Yes, ma'am, what can you take? I had a friend who used to live here, who invited me to come and visit her. It was a Wednesday afternoon, it was raining. I went to a service, and the lady who was chairing at that time thought I was there to give messages. You know what we're talking about? Oh, good, because I don't. So she introduced me, and I went and I gave 3 messages. I came home, I sat down, and I said, okay, what just happened? Who is speaking through me? Because I don't even believe it was me. And that's how it happened. Reopened my mouth.
She comes with healing hands, but it's not for your shoulders or your neck. It's for this.
You know, she looks very radiant and beautiful in the spiritual world.
You want more, and you want detail, and you will get it.
You just had a strap break on a shoe?
Yes.
Because she's laughing and she says, now, if we know that, what else do we know?
He wants to say, this is proof that I'm helping you, I'm with you. Oh, this is a psychic place, you're picking me up.
He's here. He's here.
How's everybody doing today? Great. Okay. Have you had a message yet? No? Good. Okay, as I'm tuning into you, I'm getting a feeling of a child being very, very close to you, bringing a lot of love. And I feel as though there's angels around you that are around people who become teachers and help to inspire young people. I see people coming to you, and I see you counseling people, and I really know that you're really helping them. And God bless you, sir. And thank you for listening to the World of Spirit.
My name is Ronald Holt. I am an 18-year veteran police officer.
Your job in what you do is really still...
It was May 10th, 07. My son, Blair, he left school after his last class, traveling on a public bus in Chicago, Illinois, and this gang member discovered that there was a rival gang member on the bus that he was looking to shoot. And actually, Blair shielded a young lady, a classmate and friend, from being fatally wounded, but the one bullet from a .40 caliber handgun did a lot of damage in his main organs, so he didn't survive. As far as the spirit world, I never bought into anything like that. But I think here at Lilydale, maybe God allows for spirits to make a connection. I want to tell them I'm sorry that I wasn't there to protect them. I think that's the thing that gets me, that I just wasn't there to protect them, and I should have been.
I was the message bearer in the auditorium once, and it was several hundred people there, and you feel like you're on the spot, you know, and so I felt from spirit, I heard in my ear the name Jim, and I felt drawn to this one woman sitting in the front row, and I don't know who's sitting there, so I said, I want to come into your vibration with the name of Jim. There's a Jim that says hello. Nope, I don't know any Jim. So I said, all right, here I'm in front of these people. I look like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making out. So I said, all right, Jim, spirits, help me with this. Tell me some more. So I said, well, this Jim says he's a friend of your mother. Now, I didn't know she was there with her mother, but she looks over, and now I have two heads shaking. Nope, don't know any Jim. So I'm thinking, okay, Jim, what else can you tell me, friend of your mother? He said, this Jim used to come over regularly and play cards with a group, including your mother. And the whole front row said, oh, that Jim. It wasn't the spirit. And I'm thinking, and I'm sweating bullets thinking, am I making this up or where's this coming from? But I kept giving more details until the whole row said, and they all said the thing, oh, that Jim. And it was funny because the rest of the audience who was saying, yeah, he's not reaching this woman went, it was just a wonderful thing. I always remember that. That was like, this is great.
I'm like a pendulum. Spirit kind of pulls me in directions, and then I know who I'm going to. So I have to see where I start moving, and I'm going over this way. And let me see.
There are three ways that somebody who's trained really receives. You see, you hear, and you feel.
I just sort of open the door, flip the on switch. And sometimes I see spirit as solidly as I see you. Sometimes they're a little more ethereal.
There are times when it's more like in my mind's eye and it's like a thought picture, or almost sometimes like the sound of my own internal dialogue.
Feels like me, but I say things I know I don't know. And sometimes I can feel them sit down on my lap. We become one.
Let's see where we're moving to now. Moving. I'm going over this way.
Sometimes our spirit will impress me like with a physical pain or an ache or a pressure or something that would indicate the way of passing.
Now, where do you want me to go? Oh.
It's almost like watching a movie. I'm trusting what I'm seeing. I'm trusting what I'm feeling. They're putting it together for me.
Because this is what we are. We are just a reciprocal, like a telephone.
And that's the beauty of it. A medium, being a medium, all you're doing is being a voice. You don't have to understand a thing that you say. Actually, you shouldn't, because if you worry and try to make sense of it before it comes out of your mouth, you're not deeply connected to spirit.
You'll notice that most of the time when I'm working with you, my eyes are closed, because it just helps me to remain as objective as possible.
Okay.
If you like to hear from a particular person who has passed on, you have to understand that when it is communicating with spirit, I literally just work here, so I can't make that happen.
Okay.
When I'm sensing around you, I'm sensing a lady here standing beside you. She seems she has a Bible. She has a Bible in her hand, and I get a feeling I see you as a little boy. I see her holding you in her arms. I feel she's loving you. She's telling you how great you are. I'm also getting a feeling of a child, a vibration that feels like your son. Now, this may sound silly to you, but we can go to music classes in the spirit world. We can continue doing things there.
Yes.
Okay? The image I got of him in the spirit world is like he was standing up conducting, so other people basically doing his music.
You're amazing, because there are people, some of my son's friends, who I have already chosen to perform his music.
Okay, I have to ask you a question now. There's a man standing behind you in a military uniform. Who is that?
Oh my God.
It's
my
family.
dad.
Family, yeah.
He died in, he was 32 years old. He died in May also of 1966.
Okay. I'm seeing a dove in your hands for some reason.
A dove. Oh my God. I ordered 2 sets of business cards of my son's foundation. One set of business cards has a dove on it.
Beautiful. Well, I
And
saw
that's-
that image. See, when we get things, sometimes we see things, sometimes we hear, smell, taste. Your father was a vision. Your son with me is all feelings.
Yeah.
Okay? I just got a very strong feeling that you really have been blessed by some very powerful people in the spirit. You really have been.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
That reading was pretty good.
Wow.
And he said some things that made me believe. It kind of makes you think, well, God is a spirit, so maybe there's something to this.
How you doing today? Welcome.
Abby, kitty, honey, will you come see Aunt Sherry? Oh, who's a sweetheart? Was you having a drink? Was a pretty little girl. Will you sit and be admired? We want to take your picture.
I could see auras when I was 6, but I gave my first reading when I was 19 years old. My mother had been a spiritualist, and they were used to having seances. And she said, would I like to sit with them? And I said, sit what? And she said, we're going to have a seance. We're going to get in touch with spirit. This gentleman would like to know something about where he's being guided now. And we sat at my mother's dining room table, said a prayer, sat in the silence, and he said to my mother, Ruth, are you getting anything? And she said, no, are you? And he said, no, I'm not. And Mother looked at me and she said, Sherry, how about you? I just opened my mouth and started talking. And I told him, yes, he would be married again. And I said, you already know this lady. She's in the place where you work. And he said, who is she? I described her, which I can do. I see very clearly. And I told him her name was Anne, A-N-N-E. And he said, who's telling you this? And I said, oh. So I looked and I saw a woman and she told me her name was Estelle. And I thought it felt so normal. It just felt like I'm speaking to you. I just spoke as if it were me, but it was not. I was channeling. I understand that now. That's a very good matching ring, by the way.
That's a beautiful
No,
ring.
that I didn't
my
notice.
ring.
Yes, I noticed. I have 2 sisters who are mediums, Jacqueline and Gretchen, and we live in Lilydale.
We might as well have a real day off.
Yeah, and for the rest of the day, we don't have to talk to anyone else's people in spirit, just our own. Because Mother's been hanging around. I'm sure you've seen her, especially over by the hemlock tree there.
She was. I noticed that too.
My father and mother met here in Lilydale. So my father's family were very mediumistic, very spiritual as well. And my sisters and I see them all the time around town. They pop in to give us advice and help or to scold us when we're doing something wrong. Jackie, you just got handed a plate of grainy fudge.
Thanks, Mom. I've been wanting fudge, and I really couldn't justify it, but now I will.
When one of us has some family member we're concerned about, needs prayer, we'll have a prayer group.
Because we're so busy doing readings for other people, we don't normally take time to get stuff for ourselves. And this is an opportunity for our loved ones in spirit to come in to share.
6 willing instruments here.
Whoa. Okay, hold the energy then.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
You have to know that Grandpa Doris here in his rocking chair, and you know what he's singing.
What is he singing?
Doodly doodly.
Oh. Oh, welcome, Carlton.
would there be a Betsy or a Betty with the roses?
Bess.
Bess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Grandma Bess.
Yeah.
A family reunion.
They wouldn't miss it. They wouldn't miss it.
And who is Lewis, L-E-W-I-S? I don't recognize his energy.
A friend of Uncle Harry's, I'm hearing.
David. David, in spirit, David, but not my David.
Not your David.
Your David's been here. Yes, he has. Thank you.
The message of Spirit always is to give proof of the continuity of life, to remove the fear, and to be able to accept death as an illusion and death as a graduation, you see, into another dimension.
The next dimension for most is such a beautiful place that people who have had near-death experiences really don't want to come back. You can fly, you can travel, you're not in pain anymore, you can see anything you want to see. I mean, it's so much more liberating.
First, somebody has to accept the fact that they don't have a physical body, and then they go somewhere and destimulate for a while. Then they have to learn to communicate all over again. Usually it's about a year, year and a half before someone's able to come through a medium. It depends on the individual. I think somebody that's older or that's been ill for a time and is expecting to die can manage to come back sooner than someone who it's totally unexpected. They go through an accident or a murder or something like that. It takes them longer. And a suicide usually takes the longest because they have so much of their own stuff to work through.
We are not human beings with a spirit. We're spirits who are occupying a body for a while to teach us more. That's what it is. That means you're not going to die either. We're going to move upstairs when it's time. But death just doesn't happen.
Healing service at 7 o'clock.
Where?
On the board. Come on, this way. What's her name, Greta or what?
Gerda.
Gerda?
Yes.
Interesting.
How are you?
Good.
Hi.
Okay, let me explain something. Normally, I do not like to do two people together, okay? Because I have no idea what is going to come in. The energy might be split energy, okay? So I just want you to understand that. I'm going to be addressing you because you're the one who's seeking the healing, right?
Yes.
May I hold your hand? And I would like to open with a little prayer. Is that okay with you?
That's fine.
Okay. Great Spirit, loving heart, God of your understanding, thank you for this time together. At this time, I would like to invite...
My mother passed away March 26th, 2009. And when the will came...
She disowned her daughter. She disowned her.
And we're not talking about a little bit of money. We're talking about a large amount of money.
Small fortune.
And it's not the money. It's really not the money. What she did was a really lousy thing for a mother to do to her own child. To do this and not give any answers.
And that's why we wanted to come to Lilydale to find out why her mother might have did that.
Okay, your mother comes forward, okay? She is completely in black, okay? And I don't even know how to tell you of the remorse, the way she's sitting, okay? She says that she does not understand why she did what she did. But she is showing to me that you are a much bigger and a much better person, okay? And you can forgive her.
Why did she leave me with all these questions? She was so wrong.
I suffered enough. I did not know how to handle. I was done. I'm not saying I was right, but I was done.
That makes perfectly good sense.
Did that answer whatever I got?
Well, I got goosebumps.
She was spot on. Spot on. As far as I'm concerned, whatever she told you and she didn't know nothing, that would satisfy me.
Oh, I believe it.
And the extraterrestrials, as far as I'm concerned, have something to do with all this stuff, too. She said, the pain in the back, I think that's me.
Well, everyone has pain in their back.
Well,
I have pain in my back, too.
you're so funny.
Well, I had read about Lily Dale in the 50s. I was interested in the supernatural. And I said, well, I got to get up there somehow. So I finally, you know, I come up here by bus. Once you're here at the Dale, you don't stop, you keep coming. So I never stop. You know, a lot of people that come in here, especially the young people that have never been here before, the first thing they say, they feel the energy of the place. This is just a spot. It's God that's blessed, maybe a little bit more than some other spots.
Lilydale's a small town. You know, it's a lot like a lot of small towns. We have our ups and our downs and our personalities, and we're free thinkers, and if we all get free thinking at the same time, there can be chaos.
It's a place that's safe for senior citizens, that's very safe for children. It was wonderful to raise my children here. It feels like home.
I love living here. I like the fact that I can walk down the street and one of my friends will say, Gretchen, you know, your aunt's walking along there with you. And it's an aunt who died maybe 15 years ago.
We're not touched too much by the world out there. Most of us very seldom turn on the TV.
We sort of joke. Talking to the dead people, it's a normal thing for us. But we're having sometimes very difficulty talking to the live people.
This is a place where the blessings of the Lord are obvious and appreciated. And we squabble among ourselves, like any church group. But we thrive. And it's a message that's being taken to more and more and more people now.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name's Janice Dreschman. I'm a registered medium here at Lilydale, and I'd like to welcome you to our 1 o'clock service of Inspiration Stump. Inspiration Stump goes back to the years 1898, and for years, mediums would come up on the steps and stand and give the messages. Because this is a healing treat, you're not going to see any of us up on here. And if you do, you'll see Janice from Pittsburgh throwing down someone. All right, our first worker today, I'd like to call on Marty Hughes, registered medium. Marty, would you please serve spirit?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I keep singing Mr. Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Could I speak to the lady in the blue blouse? Hi, how are you?
Okay.
What's your name?
Rebecca.
Hello, Rebecca. I have a lady in spirit who's not talking about who she is. She says it's not important who she is, as much as that you understand that there are periods in your life where you are being wrapped with gentle arms. And she says, we're the people who come and wrap people in gentle arms. Do you understand that? She is talking about how you have been asking for information, or you've been asking why. And as you've been asking why, you're finding nothing but the most deafening silence. She is coming to you and bringing you, for some reason, a bouquet of daisies. And she said, you have to remember, when you pull the petals out, the final petal will always be, he loves me. All right? So I leave that for you with God's blessings.
Thank you.
Janice, thank you for allowing me to serve. Have a great day, everybody. See you later.
Marty is registered medium at Lilydale. Marty, thank you for serving security. Just 1 minute before we go.
I lost my partner on the night that we were going to be engaged. It was September of '07. And he called me to say he just wanted to finish one errand on the farm and then he'd be in to pick me up. And he didn't show up. So I called him, but he didn't answer, so a couple of his friends rode out and found him out in the field. Nobody knows for sure what happened. There are no guarantees, of course, we know that coming here, but it's something that I can do to say, yes, I'm open to this, to actually get in your car and drive 11 hours, you know, and invest the time away from the rest of your life. It kind of allows me to focus more fully on the purpose. And I know I can't guarantee what will happen, but it's my way of showing that I'm open to it.
What I do is an opening prayer, then I share with you what I see and feel. You can ask questions about it or ask questions about the parts of life you want to touch on. There's a part of your life you have an interest in. Feel free to ask it as you're going along. Okay?
Okay.
Dear Father God, and all loving librarians as we walk our pathway of life, we may accept and understand all obstructions before us, may deal with them in the highest and best way. May we be guided by the hand, the sight, and eye understanding. Amen. One of the first things with you, dear, I want to say you have a very good heart and you care about people a great deal, but you have a compassion for people that you've been thinking more and more about now, that I want to say writing, and I want to say putting things together where it's like I want to share with others, I want to guide others. And there's a gentleman on the spirit side of life with you that loves you very much and watches over you. I get pain in my chest and heart center, and I feel when he left the body pretty quickly. But I just feel this energy with him that he's around you to help you and loves you very much. He's also shown me, would you understand it was unexpected the way he left?
Yeah.
And would you recognize there's been recent experiences where you felt like somebody was by your bed and you felt like, wait a minute, there's somebody here, but yet I didn't really see them?
If I acknowledge it, yeah.
The feeling I have there is a part of you is recognizing it, realizing they're there and they're there to help you and they love you. And on another level, there's a part of you very hesitant about trusting it. And really what it comes down to is Spirit's really opening up to you and letting you know they're there and they're helping you, because I feel he's around you a lot.
I know that he's with me, but I just can't hear him.
Well, you can't hear him yet, but remember something. On the Spirit side of life, it's very difficult for them to come in when the person in the living is not completely accepting and mourning over what happened. And I feel he's saying to me, he said, she's just a bit stubborn. And he's laughing and said that she's going to be fine, and I'm proud of her. Right. And I just feel that warmth there, that he's helping you, and it's a nice feeling. Now, I keep seeing a child around you also. How old's the child?
Around me?
Yes, around
alive
you.
Or not alive?
Would you recognize there was a miscarriage at one time, dear? There was something very early. There was a conception and loss.
Okay.
Because I see him with a child, and he's holding a child, and he said to me, he says, tell her, what a gift. And I feel the child in spirit loves you very much and watches over you. It was a destiny for them to leave where, when, and how they did. It wasn't meant for them to live on and be here. And I just see them with you because they love you very much. Remember something, the state of mind you're in right now, there's a part of you that questions everything, and there's a part of you that trusts what you feel. And I just see you now gradually growing towards trusting what you're feeling more and more. Would you let it happen, please?
Thank you so much.
I'm so frustrated.
Why?
I don't believe him.
What?
You don't believe what was said in there? I don't believe, no. He didn't tell me anything I recognize.
Really?
No. He insisted we had a kid.
What?
He's like, no, I'm picturing a child who passed early in conception. And I don't want to argue with him, so I'm just going along with it. But I'm like, no.
Really?
I mean, it could be all my defenses, too. I mean, I really wanted it to be so much like, I wanted to hear Doug's voice. I wanted to hear Doug's words.
Context of how he was.
Yeah, his phrasing, his, you know, and a couple things that the medium said, I was like, no, he would never call me stubborn. He would never. He's like, oh, he thinks you're stubborn. I'm like, no, he wouldn't. I felt like it was the medium talking about, like, the medium's perceptions, the medium's, you know, and I'm like,
okay.
no, I don't want you. Like, you, like, if these are two different languages, I want you to be the translator.
Right. I think you should have another reading while
I think
you're
you
here.
should too. I really do.
It's a stairwell.
Right.
It's one thing at a time. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all. It's going to heal and solve everything.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Some people come in and they'll get a reading and they'll want to be like really quiet and silent and not say anything and think someone else is, you know, I don't want to give them any information. And it's not the information, it's the idea of the voice vibration. If you don't return like a phone call, if you're talking with someone and they don't respond, you're going to hang up the phone, and that's what Spirit does.
He says when you change your attitude, things will change for you.
You know, doubt and fear and anxiety, it causes a shutdown of energies. But if you get that doubt out of the way, it flows.
When people are ready, they feel that connection. But there's very rarely just one teacher along the pathway. And I think it's very important to be skeptical. In the early 1900s, there was a lot of fraud that took place because the emphasis was on physical phenomena, and it was easy to fraudulently produce it.
This religion has gone through several stages. 100 years ago, this was very popular, and it was really considered sort of an entertainment. I mean, it had to be something to knock you out of your seat.
Those are seance trumpets. They put them on the table and they would move, shake, rattle. The medium could produce ectoplasm that wrap around the trumpets like a sticky cobweb. The ectoplasm would form a voice box so the trumpet could voice words from the ghost walks.
The trumpets and the slate writing and the spirit drawings and all of that type of physical phenomena, it takes an extra amount of energy and spiritual assistance to achieve.
They had to do it 7 days a week. So they would try to do it, and if they couldn't do it, they could fake it. Houdini was notorious for busting fraud, for exposing fraud. He would come down here and visit. And he was going from one house to another, knocking on the door, and nobody would let him in. There was too many that were caught faking it. And it gave us a bad name. It closed some other camps.
Because it was misused by so many people, they made it on the grounds all mental mediumship, which I think is a good thing. Because a lot of things right now, television especially, is giving this mystical, scary stuff, and it really doesn't work that way.
Hey, Annette, I had went to see a medium today. He says Blair keeps coming to him, telling, tell Mom, don't worry. I'm in the house, in spirit with you, playing with the cats, just letting you know that I'm there.
I noticed something, a sound in my bedroom at night.
Yep.
And it
had turned in there, and I don't see anything.
It's actually him around you. He knows that you are seeking some comfort from him, and he doesn't want you to worry.
And I've always believed in that gift.
Yeah.
Always.
But the thing of it is, this last one was like so on point, and I was like, whoa. He was just telling me about all the dreams that I was having of him. He says those dreams are just not dreams. He says those dreams are real. He says yeah. He told me, he says you've seen Blair older than 16, haven't you? I said, yep.
I don't have dreams. Not one dream.
Well, I'm gonna mention that to a medium tomorrow as to why. But there's a lot. I mean, we'd be on this phone all night. The stuff that they telling me.
Look at us.
Not yet. That's gonna be the big one. That's gonna be the big one. I think either tomorrow or Saturday before I fly out.
All right, Dan. Thanks.
I'm Tom Kratzley. I live here in Lilydale with my wife, Ellie, and my daughter, Tara. My first exposure to Lilydale was in 1968. We heard about Lilydale, and we decided to make a summer trip here, and I got the bug, and then I kept coming back. And just imagine again that waterfall of light droplets coming over your head and through your body, and it's relieving your body of any toxicity. Over the years, I've helped a lot of people by working directly with the pepper to draw out different kinds of toxins. There's still a little bit to come from the kidneys. If you take a fresh vegetable, something high in vitamin C, and comb your auras with it, you're going to pull out the toxicity.
There's like a crackling that goes on, very faint, but it's just there, and you feel better.
I think of myself more as a witness to healing than a healer, because it's the divine energy that does the healing.
God is against witchcraft. God is against sorcery. God is against astrology. God is against horoscopes. And until you're willing to turn from that, you cannot be saved.
They're sad. They're sad. Look at them. Look at them. There's sadness in them. It's sad. And they all have been brainwashed. And now they're not happy people. Do you see joy?
None of you. There's nobody in here that's a Christian. They don't believe the Bible here. They are liars. They'll talk about Jesus. They do not believe in Jesus Christ in the Bible.
Spiritualism for me is a religion of experience, not faith. I have the experience of engaging with spiritual energy when I'm doing healing versus something somebody told me.
I talked to you about what Jesus said about loving God. The heart speaks with love.
Give me a Bible verse on that. Can you quote any verses from the Bible?
I don't need to quote
because you can't, sir.
The Bible says. In so many religions, you really aren't free to explore, you know. You sort of have to follow the party line or the dogma that they preach. And spiritualism says, you know, truth is everywhere. Find it and make it your own.
A place of great wickedness right here, sir. God says you're psychic. Go away.
My name's Susan Heinrichs. I'm checking in.
27. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm here because I think I'm on a spiritual journey. My son passed away 8 months ago. Contracted cancer at 18. I would describe myself as an evangelical, fundamentalist, born-again Christian. I don't have any real preconceived notion of what I'm really going to get here at Lilydale. It just seems as though I should be coming here because a door was opened, and I'm just stepping through that door and going to find out what's on the other side of it.
These pictures here, these are all taken around the same time. He was on a college tour, and with this picture, he had came back and decided he wanted to go to Clark Atlanta University in Georgia. And this would wound up, unfortunately, being his last high school picture at Julian High School.
Before he...
That was less than 6 months before he was killed.
Well, his eyes look so intense in this picture, just piercing. If you don't mind, I just want to share with you something about my son. That's his first moment. That's him being taken out of me right there. He starts, getting bigger, and he starts going out and, doing the fun things that they do,
You said that Scotty died of cancer.
Yeah. They saw a lump one day, they took it off the neck, and then the next thing you know, there was 20 tumors in his lungs, and the next thing you know, it was in his spleen, and the next thing you know, it was in his bones. And as far as what Lilydale is about, came as a result of that, because as a Christian, I was really wrestling with the fact that why did I have this connection that was so intense and this bond that was so strong for it to be gone? And what was I supposed to learn out of it? What was I supposed to get out of that?
But God is the most awesome spirit in the world and in the universe. You gotta embrace that. And when you know your child's spirit, you're going to be okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I'm Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm Katrina.
Katrina. I'm Ray Buckland.
I guess one of my questions about Lilydale is it a special place because there's such a concentration of people with
I think it's
similar
because
abilities?
there's such a concentration of energy. I mean, this is the oldest, one of the oldest and largest spiritualist communities in the world. This has been the focus of energy all these years, and this is, to my mind, the center.
I'll call them realms of
Yes.
spiritualism and witchcraft and magic. And are they all interconnected, or are they factions that compete?
There are very, very similar threads that run through all of them. Just as an example, in voodoo, it's believed that the spirits of the dead, that the spirit can be captured in what's called a govi jar. And the priestess will keep all these govi jars in the church. And at certain times of the year, she will open them, releasing the spirit. And you will hear the voice of that dead spirit coming out, and the family will be outside, and the family can ask questions. So it's just like being here with a medium, where the family can contact the spirits of the dead, of their loved ones.
For people who see a medium, is there any, or have you come across fakes, but people who...
Absolutely.
And are you able to discern that?
Not
as a
necessarily. It
typical
depends
person?
how skilled they are, I guess. But just because something can be done in a fake way doesn't mean that all of it is done in a fake way. There are always fakes out there in any field. There are always fakes. And it's not always easier to tell the fakes. The only way in spiritualism is by the results you get.
Is it appropriate to ask and to question?
Yes,
mediums?
oh, absolutely. It's many times only by questioning that you'll get the additional information which really proves it to you.
Well, thank you.
It's been my pleasure, believe me.
I really enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah. And I'm also really interested in going to another medium.
I think you should. You cannot let one bad reading hold you back.
I'm still looking for what I need.
Right.
the ground. Oh my goodness gracious. My name is Michelle Whitedove. I'm a visiting medium. We're gonna make this place colorful while we're here. It's a great honor when you get invited to Lily Dale. It's kind of like you're being acknowledged by all spiritual mediums or light workers, and it's like the Grand Ole Opry. Pink. I hate the color pink. Hey. They're gonna look at me and say, well, I've never seen a medium like this. Michelle Whitedove. Nice to meet you. Oh, this is cool. All the cheese.
So you're gonna go first?
No. I'm gonna see how it's done. I'm not making a fool out of myself. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
You look so lovely in purple.
Oh, thank you.
My name's Michelle Whitedove. I'm checking in.
Oh, Michelle. Wonderful.
So I didn't know really how this works.
Oh, you've never come out here before?
No, it's my first time here in Lilydale.
And where do we say you're from?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
I'm hearing the name David from the Land of Spirit, and he says that you were in the right place this weekend. He says you're in the right place all the time. He comes to you in winged ones, birds. Watch for them. They want to let you know that they're there, and they do those things they say just to give you comfort.
Thank you. For our next worker, I'd like to invite Misha Whitedove, a visiting medium from Fort Lauderdale.
All right. I am Michelle Whitedove. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes.
Let me say, I am a medical intuitive, but know this. I'm a straight shooter. So I don't edit, but Spirit's always very loving. Even if they have to, let's say with you, come through with maybe a message that you're like, oh, I didn't really know if I wanted to hear that or not. Know that they're telling you because there's something you can do about it, and they're gonna give you the solution to do that. So the way that I'm gonna do is just go around, who's brave, raise their hand, and we can get going here. Yes, ma'am, with the glasses.
The health of my children.
It's interesting that you ask about the health of your children when I'm looking at your health. Do you mind if I address that?
No.
Was that like, no, don't do it, or?
No, it's okay.
Okay. You have quite a few things going on. Your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your weight, your circulation, you're borderline diabetic, if not diabetic. Are you aware of that?
Yep.
Oh, by the way, when I read for people, even though this is short messages, I like the validation, so go bingo, yes, amen, something.
Amen.
All right. Okay. What people don't understand about, being a spiritual medium, it's a gift, but it's a curse. They're like, oh, I wish I had your gift. And I'm like, look, you wouldn't want to be me 5 minutes. It isn't easy getting into people's minds. That a lot of people's minds are like a septic tank, It's just like, oh God, let me pull out of there. Who else here? And if I had a button that I could just push and go off, I would, but God didn't give me that. I can never shut it off. Thanks, guys. But what keeps me going is changing people's lives in a positive way.
Yeah, those are all from our show just before he died.
He was very young.
Yeah.
Obviously, you never got any clarity on what happened to him. I'm sorry, but I'll get to him, don't worry. Come on, baby, come on through. His hands were big and calloused. I get this, Spirit just keeps showing me that it's this fluke type of freakish thing that happened to him. And this is crazy. There's two things I get with him, right? I feel that it was during the day, and I feel that there was lightning going on, okay? And then it hit him, and it was fast and it was hard, but he wasn't electrocuted or struck enough for them to verify that.
Yeah, the coroner, I think, ruled blunt force trauma to the head, but...
There you go, to the head, but didn't kill him at that time. He didn't even really feel that it affected him, so he went on about his day, and then later on, this thing came over to him, and he's like, shortness of breath, he turns red, and it's like, pop. He was outside looking in going, what the hell happened? It was a freak accident that a man gets hit by lightning, still walks around and doing his work and doing his thing. Hey, baby, how you doing? I'll see you when I come home for dinner or whatever, or go out, you know.
He said to me, I didn't think I'd see you tonight, but we had plans.
You had plans for dinner, though, am I right?
Yeah, we had plans for the rest of our life.
Yeah, I know you did, baby. He was your soulmate. You also wanted to have children. Listen, this guy's a great guy. You know, he was the love of your life, and he will always be that. But I'm going to tell you right now, he wants you to move forward with your life. And I know you're going, I'm never going to get, you know, married. I'll never say never. He wants you to be loved. He wants you to have a family. And he wants you to go on. You got to let him go to the heavens. And he's not going to do that until he knows you're okay.
Oh, what happened? She was right on.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know that it was him. Yeah. She said that he was struck by lightning earlier in the day.
Are you gonna go back and check?
I don't know that I need to. I mean, I know he's dead. I know he's gone. And whatever the reason was, I can't change it. I have to let it go. No, don't make me do that. I know.
Loved ones that pass over always want us to move forward with our life and go on and love and be loved. And he wants you to love and be loved, not only on this realm here on earth, but he sends his love to you all the time.
I don't know what you've been crying for, but you've washed away all the sadness. Your angel wrapped you and told you everything was all right.
Would you recognize that your child recently said something to you about somebody being in their room?
Yes.
Because there was a child before that was lost?
Yeah.
Because I see a child in spirit lost, working with the one in the living. The children in spirit are playing with them and having a good time. All right? God bless you, dear.
It's wonderful to be here. I can't believe I had a good healing today.
Healing and closure, you know. Interesting words. You can close a wound or heal from something that you don't want to be done with, you know. I don't want to be done with my son. I don't want to close myself off to that or be healed from that. I think that that's what I'm really sensing more than anything here is it's just this incredible openness that everybody that's here visiting and that lives here feels that that's the key to true fulfillment is just remaining constantly open. It draws me to want to buy into it just because I see so many people that seem to really want to believe it. But it reminds me a lot, being from Southern California, going down to Disneyland and knowing that everybody wants to buy into that fantasy too, and it's sort of like a Disneyland for your spirit, you know? You're coming here and you want to be spiritually open. Just seems like everybody wants to make it real.
Now, I would like to start 2 tables moving. Please, do not push. Just barely connect, touch. Okay, we're going to unite the energy together and just work with spirit to move this table. And if you feel like laughing and giggling or saying some things, do it. Just keep going, because more we have fun, more they're gonna give us fun. Okay? Are we ready? We're
Yes,
gonna party?
let's party.
Okay. Come on, off your feet. There you come. Off your feet. Come on.
I think it was its grand.
Come on. No, she's coming. She's gonna go off her feet.
Going forward for you, I see a small amount of money coming your way around January time, right around the first of the year.
Life is but a dream. Row, 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 row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
There's also something about a job situation around you. And she's saying, yes, you can. I'm here watching you, and I know you've got what it takes to do that.
And it's not me that's giving you this. This is your Father giving you this.
Oh, I believe it. I really
You know?
do. I believe it.
And that's what's so awesome.
This poor table.
This is a gentleman who loved nuts. He loved peanuts, snacking on peanuts and cashews. It's what he's known for.
Oh, let me see.
That was good.
That was awesome. Amazing.
Wonderful. Such powerful energy here.
Well, it's really nice trees here. You say these are all virgin, huh?
Yes, sir. Right now, you're staying in the most healing vortex.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, it's
Right
right
here.
in the ground, it's right in the area. This is what makes the woods so very special, okay?
Uh-huh.
But because it's such a beautiful place, and because we do have a lot of animals, we just started a nice pet cemetery.
Oh, I see. That's
So
nice.
we
Really
honor
nice.
our little, four-legged friends. I don't know because we're at the cemetery or what, but, I'm picking up the
Right,
vibration of a
yeah.
very large dog that it's always with you. Who's
Right.
your very good friend.
Yeah, I had a dog just die recently. Yeah.
Okay. Was it something wrong with his hip?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
not
you're
having
right.
any problem walking around now.
Oh, okay.
It's happy now. So you are communicating with spirits, so you're trying to understand? Is that
I'm
what
just
I
trying to understand them because my girlfriend died about 3 years ago, and I see her as a green orb floating around my room, and she sleeps in my hand sometimes. When I wake up in the morning, I see it. If I get up like 5 a.m. in the morning and it's dark out, I can see it just flickering up out of my hand. So,
Okay, what does the orb means to you?
I mean, she's still there and she loves me very much.
How are you feeling around?
I saw the light, and I felt at peace, very much at
Good.
peace.
Tell you
Have
one
you ever
thing?
heard anything like that before?
I tell you what, Jimmy. I
watch
don't.
the mud here.
I don't discard nothing. I feel if we have spirits around us, loved ones around, I think it's awesome. Isn't it nice to have loved ones around us now?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Why wouldn't that be to have them around us when they cross over? I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this would be nice because you're meeting people who are like-minded, people
Right.
that share your experiences. So next year, you're probably going to come back to Lilydale and be a visiting medium at this
Oh,
town.
okay. Oh, gee, thank you there.
You'll be giving messages.
Well, it's nice. Very good. You are an angel. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you again.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I wasn't real happy for her to say that I have a long path ahead of me.
She meant you got a long life to live.
I don't want a long life to live. I feel old now.
I've seen several mediums since I've been here, and it always seems like the last one is more impactful than the first one. I kind of wanted to pin down as much of what they said with accuracy as possible because they said so much. And they kind of told me insight about myself, but they won't bring Blair back. There was so much that was left undone between me and Blair, and it's very painful. It's a void that'll never be filled.
suddenly feel such sorrow, something very emotional, very a tremendous feeling of loss that you've experienced, and I just feel I want to cry. It's a very heavy feeling. Did you bring something?
Yeah, I bought some articles, yeah.
Okay, let me hold them at this point, please. I don't want to see them first, I just want to hold them. You know, I see a shooting. Something happened here that sort of stunned him.
He was shot and killed. The bus in Chicago on the way home from school. Blair shielded a person.
Okay, just a moment. He tells me to tell you it wasn't painful. It feels like it was very quick. And he wants you to know he did not suffer.
Thank you.
Would you understand why he would talk about the funeral service and those little items that were placed beside him? What does he mean by that? The little items that were placed beside him.
Wow.
Would you understand?
No, completely, because in the end there was there's a ritual that, going back to the days of even the Egyptians and what have you, when they would place trinkets and things in the coffin or tomb. His mom placed a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
I placed a cross with my badge number on a gold police star. For you to mention that,
it looks like there's a little ring, a little tiny, like a baby's ring.
Wow.
And he was so pleased with that.
Wow.
And he tells me that he wants to tell his mother to release any feeling that she has about blaming herself for anything. And he's saying this to both of you, okay? I hope you know how much he loves you and how much he appreciated you always being there for him. That meant so much to him.
We try.
And now he wants to give you a gift. And so he's going to be communicating with you so beautifully. So I want to encourage you, Ronald, to have times of meditation and prayer where you can walk between the two worlds and be with him as he's with you. Kitty.
Hi, I'm Susan.
Hi, I'm Rick.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a seat, dear.
I'm only here talking to you because, as a Christian who believes that Jesus Christ is the way,
Yeah.
you represent something that's very different.
Well, I don't really see it as completely different, because when I was a small child, my grandmother always told me, put your hand in Jesus' hand, Jesus will guide you. I look at it as something that the spirit world's a spirit world. We're all going to leave. We're all going to be over there. And I believe that's all a part of God's structure and belief to help us and reach to us. Because if you're in turmoil, would you really think the loved ones aren't going to want to reach back and comfort us?
Now, did you say that rhetorically? You know, because I'd like to give a response to that. So, hope you're
Well, see,
open
I
to
feel
that.
you've had some experiences yourself of feeling the presence, but you still doubt and question whether it was there or not.
No, I don't doubt a question at all, because I know that.
Let me share with you what I feel, and we'll go from there.
Go ahead.
Okay? That'd be easier.
Okay.
Dear Father God, and all loving librarians, as we walk our pathway of life and be accepted, understand all obstructions before us, may deal with them in the highest and best way. May we be guided by the hand, the sight, and eye understanding. Amen. One of the first things with you, dear, when I felt the energy around you of the young man in spirit, would you recognize with him there was something wrong in the head and the neck area when he left?
You
When
know,
he left the body?
I think that answering you that question to me is a very leading, probing kind of thing, because I think that if I have to say, you know, a positive or a negative to it,
well, let me say this to you.
It's as though
I'll just
I'm
give
not
you what I
testing
feel.
the Spirit, you know.
I will give you what I feel, and you take it from there.
Okay.
You don't have to answer a thing.
Okay.
And you just decide in yourself what you feel and what you
Okay.
want. All
Okay.
right? I felt discomfort in my head and my neck. I felt I couldn't breathe right. You know, some people can be sick for a long time, you know they're leaving, but I really don't feel that was the case with him. I don't feel you really expected him to leave at that time, but I felt a love and the bond there, and I just see him reaching out to you.
You mentioned about my son.
Mm-hmm.
And my son was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 2006 at the age of 18, and he suffered almost 3 full years. It took him down notch by notch. It blinded him. It paralyzed him. It wasn't sudden. It was something that we lived with every day. But the way you described him, as far as it wasn't in keeping with that. It
But
wasn't.
you're witnessing what it was. I feel with him, in many ways, he's a great teacher because what he lived through was an experience to guide others and teach others and their experience in life too.
You know, the Bible talks about in the Old Testament, it says, "Beloved, believe not every spirit." So it's identifying that there's more than one spirit.
Yeah.
But try the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone into the world.
Well,
So-
I think that's something there
But
that's
how
very
does that speak
solid.
to you?
It's something that I feel within me, my knowing, is that Spirit's always with us.
Do you believe you've died and come back?
I've done it 3 times in a week.
Okay, okay. So then when you went to the other side, was Jesus Christ, was he there? Did
When
he,
I was 11
did he
years
say
old,
to you?
when I was 11 years old, I passed 3 times in a week. I lost 26 pounds. I had 106 temperature, and I literally left the body, went through the tunnel of light, walked across the river, saw Jesus. Jesus was standing there and sharing with me, comforting me, telling me I was all right, and it wasn't my time to come over there yet, and that he wanted me to understand why I was here and what purpose I had to help people and reach out to people.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was amazing. It's absolutely, wow.
Well, Spirit knows, and I'm just listening.
That's right.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes.
I believe in hugs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's going to be good.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye. I just had an experience with someone who absolutely, totally felt that what he believed was true. But we all go about our lives sincerely believing a lot of things. Things that have happened to us, things we hope for, all kinds of different things. But that doesn't prove it is so.
Well, you can only share so much, but it doesn't mean that they accept what you share.
It's so good to see you.
We'll always be bereaved mothers. We're always going to be mothers who've lost our child, and all we want to do is hold them. And I don't think all the registered mediums here can provide that for me. He will not return to me, I will go to him. Wow. God, I just claim this place for you because you're the one who created it, Lord. Lord, I just pray that you would open up their eyes, that you would allow them to see that you're the one that they need to find, Lord, and to give you the honor and the glory and the praise, Lord Jesus. And just thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Nothing bad happened to me.
Great Spirit, thank you for coming to this beautiful place. We ask all the blessing of all the mediums that would serve.
Those who come through, spirit guides, loved ones, or angels, we ask that they would bring guidance, that divine white light of protection for loved ones. Amen.
You know, he just comes in as strong as he can be.
He's reaching out to you to let you know he's there.
And that's what we get from Spirit. There's just a knowing in there. That's right.
I believe.
It was nice meeting you. You too.
Okay, you take care.
Okay.
All right. Oh, where's the big Louis bag?
Let me go get everything.
And I'll need this because it's effing hot. Woo! And it's not from Spirit. Hi, I'm Michelle Waiter.
Michelle, so nice to meet you. I've heard
nice
such
to meet you.
wonderful things about you.
Oh my goodness, room travels
Really?
fast. huh?
Yes, it
There's-
does. Why don't we sit over here?
I see your favorite color is pink, isn't it?
I love pink.
Because it represents
Pink,
unconditional
pink, pink.
love.
Yes, it does. Uh-huh.
So let me ask you a
Oh, yeah.
question. I can't turn it off, my gift.
Oh, yeah.
How do you find a way to shut
Oh,
it
yeah.
down?
You know, I can't say that I have a specific formula for it, but at the conclusion of every reading, when the person walks out the door, I at this time in my life remember nothing about them. I remember their face, maybe their name,
Well,
but
that-
I know nothing
yeah,
about them.
that I do.
Yeah. Do you have a close connection with your spirit guides and teachers?
Absolutely.
Because they should be helping you with that as well.
You know, food helps, you know.
Sure.
A couple
Well,
of
I
little
think
things.
that physical exercise also is very helpful.
Another
And also, I'd
exercise.
say some deep breathing exercises would be very helpful to you.
Okay, thank you. And I normally don't do this, but is there
Yeah.
anything, any message that you may have for me?
Who's Jeff or Jeffries? Jeff.
Oh, you are good. I'm impressed. That is my ex, and that is also my eldest son.
Well, as good as your ex. But
Oh,
you're,
yeah,
how old,
yeah,
may I
yeah.
ask how old your son is?
He's be 23.
I feel that he started something that he didn't carry through with in the way he had originally planned.
He drinks a
Powerful.
lot lately.
Well, I didn't know if it was alcohol or drugs,
Alcohol.
but I feel,
Alcohol.
I do feel that confusion that comes with that unsettled mind, and I believe that Spirit is going to be working very closely with him to help him to set that aside.
And you're definitely the real deal, and that's good to
Aw.
see.
And you have a beautiful future in this too.
Yeah,
But,
it's just
you
my love
know.
life sucks.
Well, but you know, Michelle, that happens with so many mediums.
Guys, they'll say, how can she will know? And I'm like, well, what do you mean I'll know? You know, oh, what, you mean that you cheated? You know, so it's
Yeah.
just like that.
Well, there's a right person out there for you. There is.
All right.
Oh, well, let me give you a hug. You're delightful. And your sons are going to be all right. They are. You'll see. Thank you.
Don't be sad, yeah.
So if you ever come around this area,
Oh, my dear, it's been wonderful.
Keep Scotty with you, like keep Blair with me and our memory, and that's what is important to us as, you know, parents.
Maybe they're running into each other in the spirit well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm here. I have ghosts live with me in my house and so forth.
Oh, wow.
And I'm an abductee and UFOs and.
Oh, you got the right person to talk to then.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did it land in front of you, or?
No, just hovered in the sky.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't get abducted or anything, but it was really...
You sure?
I don't know. So I seen this thing, and it was huge.
When people come here, something else stirs in them. They start to feel that what's available here is truly a liberation of their own spirit.
Thank you for your blessings of the West. Thank you for our spirits, to help strengthen our spirits.
When people are ready, they find it. They do. And they may walk away not calling themselves a spiritualist, but they walk away having had an experience that hopefully will cause them to explore beyond themselves.
For the first time, I had a chance to actually be alone with my own spirit, you know, with my own conscience. And you know that tragedies won't, they'll come and go, and things good and bad, they won't last forever. The sun will rise the next day, and this too shall pass.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to live in this lovely, safe, peaceful place. And I'm so glad that I can do what I do, bring healing messages from Spirit.
I'm just always in awe of the work of Spirit, always. Whether it's giving proof of the continuity, whether it's bringing forth new teachings from the unseen realm, I just see it as so beautiful. And I feel very honored that Spirit uses me in that way.
We are just the instrument that makes the connection. And that is a proof that life goes on. Their bodies might not be there, but the heart, the love, and the soul, they are with us. If you believe, you will receive.